All right, we're going to watch Robbie's underwater backstroke. We're going to watch it at full speed at first. A couple things looking real quick. We can kind of see that her hips are a little low, her feet are a little bit high, but her underwater pull, she's got a good snap, good elbow bend right away. So let's go ahead and restart that. As we go through, we're going to go at quarter speed. We're just going to kind of take it step by step. As we see right here, as we start to enter the water on her right hand, you can kind of see that she's almost entering fingertips down. So right here you can see how flat her hand is. You want to make sure that when you're entering, you're coming out with your thumb out and then you're going in with your pinky in. So with the hand being flat like that, she's missing the very first catch of that pull. So you want to make sure you turn that pinky down just a little bit better, because as you can see right here, as you start to flatten out, okay, you start to lift your left shoulder up. Now all of a sudden you have your hand in the right position, which is pinky down. So you want to make sure you're entering that way right away, so that right away you're grabbing water. You don't want to have a wasted motion with a flat hand starting with no real pull, and then as you get into about maybe, very little part of your pull, but at least the very beginning you're not catching that water early on. So make sure you enter pinky first on that right side. Now as we start that pull, we can start to see that we've got a nice little elbow bend here and here, which is really going to catch that water a lot better. The other thing we like is up here, as their hand is exited, you can see you've got a nice high shoulder roll. That's fantastic. We talk a lot about having dry armpits, right? And so that's going to make sure you get your armpit out of that water, good shoulder roll. The other thing we really like here is your head position. You can tell that your head's back, okay? So your head's back, it's going to be a lot easier to keep your whole body up above that water in a good body position. So that's fantastic. Now right here you can kind of see how you started to lift your arm up a little more than maybe we want to see. We want to see that hand stay out to that side. We don't want to watch. So if you just watch right here, okay, you're doing good with that pull, but then all of a sudden you lift it up really, really high. And once you start lifting it up high like that, you're going to start grabbing a lot more air if you don't be careful. And as you can tell, at this rotation here, your left side hand is getting ready to enter. You should already be starting to roll to that left side. Because you lifted that right hand up so high, you're kind of keeping your body more on that right side. Let it start to rotate a little bit better. You can see that your hips are rotated to the left, or I'm sorry, to the right, but we want to make sure we're getting here a little bit quicker. So right here, our hand is entered, and again, you can kind of see you're entering. If you look at that hand really closely, you can see that you're entering fingertips, right? The other thing you can kind of see is that you're not completely rotated here to the left side. When you enter that left side, if you enter pinky first, you got to rotate so that your right shoulder should be coming up. So this hand that's a little deep over here should already be up near the top of that water snapping, which is going to help you get your right shoulder up and then your left shoulder down. So let's make sure we get that shoulder rotation a little bit earlier. And as I was saying before, it has more to do with that right side pull than we saw a little high on that, and on that very halfway through phase, almost to that finish phase. Again, you can kind of see now you are starting to get to your next side. And now your hand is in the right direction. You've got your pinky going down, so you're getting ready to catch that water really well. But again, we want to make sure that that water is getting caught right away by entering pinky in, okay? Again, the other nice thing you can see, just this nice elbow bend, you can kind of see that your hand is starting to point this direction here, the opposite wall, which is really what's going to help push you and pull you through the water. Okay, so that's a great pull in the very beginning, like your catch. Now this pull is a lot better. You didn't quite come up so high as you did in your other arm. You kind of see it's still staying nice and still, going all the way down to your hip, but like that pull a lot better. So your left side pull looks a little bit better than your right side pull. That's great. You don't want your hand to go quite so deep on that end of your stroke. Make sure it kind of stays a little bit closer to your body, a little bit closer to your hips, so you're able to get that hand up a little bit quicker. And again, as you see, your right arm is getting ready to start entering, and you are now starting to rotate. So you're rotating better to your right side as you enter than you are to your left side. But again, you can still see pinkies in, or your fingertips in instead of pinkies in. But right away, you can start to see, as this hand is entering, you can start to see this shoulder starting to roll up. So this hand is more in this position here. You're going to easily be able to rotate all the way to that right side. Okay, so you're just a little bit off. Make sure you get that hand up a little bit quicker. Now, as we go through, we can see that our left hand right here is exiting pinky, or I'm sorry, exiting with your thumb. That's what we want to see. The other thing we really like, we like the body line here. Your feet are a little low. If we can keep those up a little bit higher, that's going to help you out. But this position right here, that's really, really good. I like that a lot, Robbie. Get rid of some of these lines. Good catch. Nice steady legs all the way through. Here we go into our turn. All right, as we go into our turn, really like your legs are going straight towards that other wall. But look at how wide those hands are, okay? You want to make sure we're trying to keep those hands as close to your body, as close to your face as you can. When you get right about here, okay, so you can see you're getting ready to start your stroke, you want to make sure that you're, what we like to say, throw water at your face. So you're going to take your hands from your hips, you're going to turn those palms down. As you can see, your palms are still up. They don't ever really turn down. You kind of keep your palms up all the time. You want to take your hands from your hips, turn your palms down, and basically throw water at your face as you lift your hands up to your head into a nice tight streamline. And we can kind of see how wide those hands are. And as you get through, they're even more wide way out to the side here. But we want to keep those hands close to our body, close to our head, so that we're able to get into a nice tight streamline a little quicker. Feet hit that wall really, really well. Right here, you're getting ready to push off. That's a great streamline position. All right, a little long to get your hands there, but that's a great streamline position. Looks like you're going to push down a little bit. Let's see. Nice downward motion. Nice job of pausing. But as you can see here, your legs are a little separated. Keep those legs. Your legs being streamlined are just as important as your arms being streamlined. So keep your legs together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dolphin kicks. Okay, now we talked about wanting to have 6 dolphin kicks off that wall, so you're right there. But if you look, and we're going to go again, if you pay attention to your kicks, they're just kind of like big and easy. Okay, they're not really strong and fast. It's just a big kick, big kick. Like how you're keeping your upper body, like how that's going up to the top. That's really good. But let's try to make those kicks a little bit quicker. Now the other thing is, okay, you're right near the surface here. You want to make sure you start your breakout just a tad earlier. As you can see, you're almost at the top of the water. Okay, so you're kind of starting your breakout a little bit late. Right here, your head's broken the surface, and you're still barely into your stroke. You want to make sure that when your head breaks the surface right here, that left hand, because it looks like you're going to drop your left hand first, that left hand should almost be at your hip. Okay, you can see it's at your hip now, but you're almost fully above the water. So you got to start your breakout just a shade earlier. So where you're starting it right about here, you want to start it right about there. So it's a little bit stronger pull. Okay, you kind of see it's almost one kick too far. Okay. Make sure the other thing too right here, because I just saw that, you kind of let that wrist bend at the last second. So instead of keeping that wrist nice and tight, make sure you finish nice and tight so it goes all the way through. Don't let it bend back, where when it bends back like that, you're not really then grabbing any more water. So keep working the water. Robbie, really good things. Just a couple little things. I think if you work on more, you're going to get better. Great job, Robbie. Thank you.